Hi everybody, just coming on to do some crafting and I figured while I was sitting here making this album, I might as well come live to show it. So, hi Vanessa. So while we're waiting for a few people to come in, I am just going to go and make another cup of coffee. So give me a moment. Alright, sorry about that guys, just give me a moment. So yesterday, while my coffee's making, I figured I would chit chat and give you some information. I was just in the process of making the spine to the album. It's going to be the chipboard itself. The outside cover is going to be a 12 by 12. The inside pages is going to be 11 by 11 and a half with a 11 and a half by 11 insert. So I'm working out all the logistics and stuff like that because I really wanted to make a full 12 by 12 album. The paper pack that I'm going to be using is this one here. It is by Graphic 45, the Dreamland collection. I'm just going to bring my phone in here so I can see when people chat. Just give me a minute. Can you hear me okay, Vanessa? Wasn't sure if my mic was picking it up or not. I'm just going to plug it in because I've realized in the last couple of times that I've made, when I try to put my phone, it just drains the battery. So I'm going to make sure it's plugged in and that way I can keep up with chat. Okay, perfect. Decided it does not want to cooperate with me again. I have got to get a proper stand. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. And now with everything else going on, I'm kind of... here we go. All right. There we go. Now I can see chat and... Hi, Whispering Cauldron. You're going to have to help me out. Usually Emily does the name and shout outs. I don't remember what it is, so I apologize if I don't give the correct names, but going on with this, this is the paper line that I'm going to be using. And it's going to be a neutral baby album. And I wanted to make it big because this paper is so beautiful. I really did not have the heart to cut it up. So it's going to be with this one. And, oh, it's the first time I'm using a Graphic 45. Didn't realize they had the templates in the back. Not that I'm going to be using it, but... So that's the paper line. And they're all double-sided. And there's 2 sheets of each. This one's just kind of plain. Carol, thank you, Vanessa. You're going to have to help me out here. There's this one. I love this unicorn page with the different sayings and things like that. It almost reminds me like Peter Pan type of thing. Sunny days make for magical moments. That is beautiful. That one there. Then there's the journaling card or cards. And there's the C one. And then there is 2 sheets of stickers as well. So I'm going to be using that as well. I also purchased, put this all back into the same thing. All right. get that out to do the cutting and everything else. So I also purchased this, just to give you an idea of how the album's going to look. So I grabbed, oops, no, I need that receipt. So I gotta return something. Okay, so I grabbed the journaling cards from Graphic 45 as well, and it's got some of the different actual journaling cards on, I think it's cardstock, like thick cardstock, so it's a little bit better than the paper. And then I got the 12 by 12, sorry, the 8 by 8 smaller version of the album. It's exactly the same, but it'll allow me to do a lot of the flips without having to worry about breaking into the 12 by 12. And then I've also got, going to be double matting a lot of the pages. So I picked like an orangey color and a yellow color and a blue. And I'm not sure about the blue, but I figured I'd get it anyway. So that is basically what my plan is. So for today, or for at least right now, I am working on the cover. I got to figure out how big my spine is going to be, because that's going to be the important thing. I know I want 6 pages. So I already did up the pages. Basically what you do, just to give you an idea. I don't want to have a crab lunch, so I cut out the paper. So it's 12 by 12 paper. I scored it on a 1/2 inch and then figured out how it's going to lay. If I take one sheet, so the this is going to be the back cover. So if you look, it is just within the 12 by 12. I don't know how well you can see it. See how it gives me about a 1/2 inch on this side, and it'll give me a 1/2 inch on this side, so that when I put in the spine, it'll go in just a little bit and give me that 1/2 inch in order for me to put an insert in between the 2 pages. So for the moment, I am figuring out the hinge on the hinge. Okay. So basically, I already scored it, and the tutorial will be available if anybody wants to purchase it once I have it completed, so I can figure out all the numbers and everything. And I was just putting on the thing. Just give me a moment. I'm just going to grab my coffee. Okay, coffee is made. And now I can get back to what I was doing. Right, Emily? She just messaged me. She just woke up and has a wicked headache. And she goes, okay, I'm going to let you take the reins on that one. No problem. All right, so let's continue putting on the tape. Emily, come into chat. Moving back and forth is driving me nuts. All right, no problem. Yeah, we've got another live stream coming up tonight. And that one will be with Creative Jewels by Emily. No clue, but I'm probably going to keep on working on this album. And this one, if anybody would like to purchase it, it will be up for sale on my Zibbit store eventually, once I get it all done. Hi, Emily. I'll be selling the tutorial, not the actual kit. If you do want the kit, I can gather it for you, but I'll warn you right now, the kit will be in and around the $100 mark. And that will include absolutely everything. Pretty much everything that I show on this, it will be included. If you want the book completed for you as a base, then we're looking at about $125. Hi, Carol. So Class Act is one of the stores that I associate with, and we're going to be doing some really exciting things coming up. And those announcements will be coming up sometime next week. And I'll get you all the information and everything coming up. And please remember, anything that you buy from Class Act, your U.S. money is worth more. So you gain 35% on the dollar. So for example, if an item is $10 that you buy from Class Act, you actually only pay something like $8.50 type of thing. You don't pay the full $10 because your money's worth 35% more. So it's reversed when I buy something from the US to bring into Canada, but when you buy something in Canada, you actually gain 35%. So it's worth it. And she does do international shipping as well. Okay, so sorry about that. So that's basically going to be 12 by 12. Similar, I'm going to put this aside and I'm going to show you one of the albums that we did make. I'm still in the process of making, but this one was a class that was taught at Class Act a couple of weeks ago. And mine is still not finished, Carol. I'm still working on it, but you can get the gist of what the album is like. I changed up a little bit of how Carol did it. So this one is with my own twist with the inserts in the pages, but this is a paper line by Ciao. It's called Snow in the City, and it is meant to be a gatefold album. This is Carol's design. She did it from scratch. I just changed up the way the album itself, the pages are put in there, but the way she did it as well is absolutely gorgeous. And these are the pages. It's Snow in the City. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. The reason I haven't completed this album yet is because I'm waiting for the Cardinals to come in so that I can do the cover and everything else. And then there'll be photo frames and photo pictures and things like that with it. Each page also will have an insert with the tabs on it. Carol's designed all that, so I'll be able to put it all and finish it all together. But this gives you an idea with the flip. There's also this page here, which has the waterfall going up. And it gives you an idea. This paper pack is absolutely gorgeous. Then with the pocket on this side. And this is what I mean by the double matting. And this is the way I'm going to do the graphic 45. See how she's double matted the colors? She's got the paper line itself. Then she's got the red, the brown, I think, but I can't remember the name of it. This has got a specific name. And then the block. Also the kits. I'm not sure if Carol's going to be designing it pretty soon, but we have been talking about actually designing a kit where you buy the whole kit, including the papers and everything. Everything will be pre-cut. You'll have an instruction sheet of how to put the book together, including everything that you see. The only thing that you have to add on here will be the embellishments. That's it. And your pictures, of course. But otherwise, everything else will be included in the kit. The cuts, everything will be done for you. So you just put it all together. And that's the last page. And that's basically the one. So it's going to be coming up. I'm not sure if it's going to be this specific album. It might be something that's a little bit different, but we'll certainly get you all the details and everything once it's all done. There'll also be other special offers and things like that that will be coming up. Hi, STAHW. Can you give me your first name so I can say hi properly to you? So give me a moment. I'm just going to check. Okay. And sorry about that. So getting back to here, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Vanessa is linking the affiliate store. And if you have any questions itself, there are Jen or Carol is in the store today. At least I knew somebody will be there. So if you have any questions or anything else, feel free to send them an email. If you can't call long distance, ask me and I'll find out for you. Oh, okay. Okay, that's a good one, Watts. All right, so I purposely did not cut this side because it's going to be underneath. So I didn't want to do a pre-cut on that. Just got to erase my pencil marks. Oh, perfect. Carol, where in Canada are you? And it's going to be confusing because Class Act, the lady that owns it, her name is also Carol. Yeah, yeah. Class Act is in Oshawa, Canada. Or Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. Ah, bonjour, Watts. He's in France. Nice. That is one place I have not been to. I've been to the Caribbean. I've been to Mexico. I've been to Florida many times. I've been to Dominican Republic. I've even been to Colombia, but I have yet to go overseas. So Whispering Cauldron, where in Canada are you? Yeah, that's going to be a tough one to do. I am not in the market to be trafficking around the world just yet. So right now I am just doing the base of this, and then I'll be able to pinch them all together and figure out how big my spine needs to be. That way I can continue doing the cover. And this last one does not want to cooperate. There we go. Got it. All right. I'm going to just bend them backwards. Now, the best thing when you're doing a hinge like this is before you even glue it all together, make sure that you burnish it all down so that you get a nice, clean, crisp. So I usually like to do it in one direction and then do it in the other direction as well, just so that it gets notice something here. One of the tapes is just literally sticking out a little bit. There we go. It's kind of driving me nuts. Yeah, exactly. The other thing I'm going to announce as well is that as soon as I reach 500 subs, I'm going to be doing a small giveaway. And then I'm going to be doing a big one, which I'm starting to save up and get products and things like that for as well, once I reach 1,000. So that's going to be really, really exciting one. As to what I'm going to do for people to enter the giveaway, I'm not sure yet. I'm still working on the details. It's definitely going to be one of my albums, probably an 8x8. And I'm either going to have one pre-made or the winner's going to win a pre-made kit. So now I'm just removing the pages, the tape to burnish down the hinges. I haven't done the tape on the inside yet. That will be coming. I might as well do that last one too. That way I can burnish the whole thing down. Also, if anybody would like to learn how to make these albums privately, I do offer teaching lessons. Usually it's $25 per hour. However, it could be for whatever you want to learn, and then we can always work a deal. You can give me a call or send me a message. Emily's benefited. Creative Jewels by Emily has benefited quite a bit from what I've taught her. So it actually is very, very well. So then, once I've got this all done, okay, so the next step I need to do is going to use, this is carpet tape, by the way. It works amazing, especially if you can't afford the big, huge, I mean, it'll work and it'll keep everything together. And don't worry if it goes just a little bit crooked, it'll straighten itself out once you fold it over. Because this is the underside, you're not going to really see it. I screwed up the tape a bit. Oh well. The most important part is to make sure that when you cut it down, nothing is showing. And again, burnish it down really well. You don't want the tape lifting. So there's still that one piece gap in here. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's good. So you want to use, no, that's too big. Thank you, Vanessa. All right. Take an old credit card. Makes it easier to come right off. So now this one's not going to reach, but this one will. And somewhere I cleaned up. Put everything. And then with that little boo-boo that I did, just you can go in and now that the tape is off and really burnish it well. See, you can barely tell that it's there. Okay, so then just see how they've got that last hinge in here? make sure that the fold over is right at the edge of that hinge. So when you fold it over, burnish it down. Hey, Mike. There you go. Now, on this one here, it's going to end up being bigger. I may have to cut it down before I... Okay, so that one's there. So it's going to end up being, let's see, 2.5. Grab the lunch. All right, so 2.5 makes it right about here. There we go. I need a new blade, and unfortunately, I do not have a new blade. That's because I want to buy new friskers. I want to buy the rotary one because I am going through blades like crazy. I think I've gone through 5 in the last month and a half because then it does those fuzzies. All right. Okay, so I'm going to have to put another, this time put it on this section. So how is everybody doing today? Mike, how are you doing? Hi. Yeah, I don't like talking by myself. That's why 99% of the times I stream with somebody, and usually it's Emily. But I was sitting here making this album, and I figured, why don't I go live? And even if I'm not teaching how to make this, at least people will get to see what I'm doing. So I'll do a bit of it this morning. And then Emily and I have a stream coming up. What time again, Emily, tonight? 5:30, 6:30? Oh, no, Carol. I know. I was going to kind of, I was so glad that I got out and got some things done yesterday because I was so afraid that we were going to be snowed in. And sure enough, we are. So by the time you're finished with your hinge, this is what it's going to look like. So then you're going to have to go back and rework. Especially that last one. So you ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages. I think somebody had asked me for a Amazon affiliate store link. I tried doing it this morning. I'm not quite sure how to do it, so I've got to do some more research to figure it out. So now that I've got the hinge made, now I can figure out how big I want my spine. So I like to take from this end to the other end and add half an inch in. So at the moment it is at 2.5. So my hinge or my spine is going to be 3.5 inch wide. So now going back, so you've got 1. Take them out. There's my 2. And since I'm keeping it 12 by 12, I don't have to cut it out. I just have to cut a spine because I don't have any. I've used up all of my scraps. So give me a moment. I'm going to cut out a 3.5 inch spine. And Cossack has all these different things that I'm showing. She does not have the graphic 45. However, she can order it. I'm not sure, Emily. I was trying to do something to offer my, not, okay, let me reword that. Not the affiliate, it's my store on Amazon, or it's to see what I order, what I like, what I've recommended, stuff like that. Not so much as the affiliate. But you could be right, and it could be that I have to reach 1,000 subs. I don't know. Now, I am going to just move some of this stuff that's in my way. Oh, I'm actually, before I do that, I will also show you the other album that I made with Fasak. And this one she does have the papers for. And this one is also her own design. This is called La Traviata with Chabella. And my phone is going crazy. So this one here, we made, I think, back in November. Again, my own twist with the pages, but it's her basic design. It's Carol's basic design with everything was pre-cut. The only thing that I had to do was make the hinge. And the magnets, everything was provided for me. The cuts, all the different embellishments, everything was in the kit that I purchased. And she actually taught me how to do this in the store. So again, it has the opening in here with the side pocket here, opening this up with the 2 magnets going upwards. There's also a pocket in here with the beautiful pop-up over there. This one here. And then this one I kind of changed up and did it using her stuff, using her links and things. This is a belly band. And then you got the waterfall, except I think the waterfall also was mine, but I can't remember. And then the last page is just blank. But she does sell this paper line, and if you're interested in purchasing this album or the tutorial for this album or a kit for this album, just email me and I can get you that information. And where did I put the bag? There it is. There. And I'm just moving some of the stuff that I have on my desk because I'm going to need to spread out the papers. And I should have done that before the stream, but I wasn't thinking. Here. As any crafter knows, yeah, you got no room to move around. Okay, slowly but surely I'm getting there. And you'll understand in a minute why I'm moving things around. I'm gonna need the full length of my desk. Here. Especially when you're working with these ones. This one. This one. That one. Something. All right, so most people will take a 12 by 12, 2 sheets of 12 by 12 paper, glue them together, and that's how you make the cover for the album. Yeah, Mike, I usually pile them on my right and my left. It's either side of me comes up, and then whenever I'm working with Emily, I end up with craft the lanches. But because I'm on a live stream, I can't do that today because I need the room to spread something out. So basically, when you're working, because I'm doing a full 12 by 12, you can't glue two 12 by 12 sheets together. So what you have to do is you have to get art paper. It's by either by Canon or by Fabio, something like that. It's the paper line. They are sheets of 18 by 24. It's only like two something, not a big deal. It's like $2.50, $3, but it's beautiful cardstock and it works like a charm. I showed it to Carol the last time I was there, so that she can get it ordered for when she does these big kits. But basically, you buy them from two stores. I think Amazon has it as well. And I can link that after the stream in the comments. But this is the paper. And as you can see, it cost me $2 a sheet. And it is thick. It's very thick paper. It's cardstock, 65 pound. Now, I have also this one. This one's a little bit different. This one is, I think it's the Fabio or the Frabio something, but it's got a bit of a shine. I'm not too crazy about using this paper because it doesn't crease well. So I figured I'd give it a shot, and yeah, I didn't like it. So on this one here, there's the other one. These two together and put them back in the bag. There's this other one I'm going to be cutting up. All right. Actually, I'm going to get an elastic. That way it doesn't unroll in the bag. Yeah, I have one craft table. Unfortunately, I have a very small living room, and this is the only spot that actually gives me the extra space to be able to craft on. I did have 3 at one point, and the landlord said, get rid of it. You can only have a maximum of 1 table in your room, because they like open areas so that if anything happens, they'll be able to get in and not have to worry about it. Okay. So, that underneath for the moment, and work with this big piece. And this thing is driving me nuts. Let me see if I can figure out a solution on this. Maybe. This might. All right, there we go. Maybe this might work. Nope. I'm gonna have to get a proper phone thing, one that allows me to keep it plugged in, but it'll be okay for now. Put anything away, I lose. Yeah, I did that. I had to clean up everything for the inspection, and half of the stuff ended up God knows where. I'm still trying to find them. So, not a good idea. Okay, so looking at this, I think this one is 12, approximately 12, yeah, this one's a 24 by something. I'm not quite sure what it is, but you're not going to be able, because of the 3-inch spine. And I just realized I cut this wrong. All right, gonna have to use, let's see if nope, I can't. Okay, let's see. Oh no, I did cut it right. Okay, so I'm gonna use the length of picking this way. Yeah, So excuse the noise of bending paper, but I've got to get this to go the other way so that it lies flat. There we go. It unraveled. All right. Now, let's see if I can do this. I don't know how well you guys can see this, but all right. So now the album's going to be 12 by 12, so I have to do a 1 inch all around it. So looking at this, and I apologize if you can't see very well, but you'll notice what I'm doing in a bit. So it's got to go 12 here. And then I got to add in 1 more inch. No, 2 more inches. Because it's 12 and then 2 inches. So altogether, it should be 14. Let's see here. Now the other solution is you can also do this by using fabric, covering it with fabric. I just find fabric is a little bit harder to work with, so I prefer to use paper to cover books. And I'm not going to cut down the sides just yet until after I've got everything laid down. Then I'll be able to figure out what my 1 inch mark is on that. All right. And then 14. Okay, and then this part here will go for the inside cover. So I'm going to just check. It's going to be a little bit under 12, which is perfect. So now to cut it is where it's going to come in. Okay. Yeah, my landlord is weird. But basically, they want us to keep everything clean and neat. And if in case, you know, God forbid, a firefighter or somebody has to walk into the door, they have to be able to get in and out. So hence the reason why they wanted us to make sure that we kept everything clean. All right, that did not work out too well. Not enough pressure. Next section. Try and keep it as, you know, straight as possible. And if somebody's saying anything in comments, I cannot follow right at the moment. So I'm trying to this piece up. Got it. There we go. No problem, Carol. You have a good day. All right, now, also keep in mind to keep this extra piece because we're going to be using that for the inside. So I'm just going to get another elastic. And just put it off to the side for the moment. So what we've ended up with then now is a nice long piece. Now, mind you, you can put scrapbooking paper together, except that you're going to need about 6 sheets to glue together. Yeah, that's going to make for a lot of different additions. It's not going to look good. So hence the reason why I use this paper. And it's cardstock and it's acid free. It's basically made by Canon. Now, to measure the way the album is put together, you're going to take your 3 pieces that you've got. So the covers. Put that there. Just holding it down a bit. So the way you're going to do it is you're going to start with marking off an inch. I'm just looking for my pencil. It seems to have gone MIA. All right, so I'm going to mark in an inch on this side. This is what I love about the Tim Holtz ruler. It's got already all your markings and everything on it. So you're going to have to actually sit there and measure. And then you're going to start the mark of the 1 inch on the bottom. And if I can keep, the only thing that I have to do is I want to get one of those, and I don't know where to get it, and I can't remember the name of it, but I've seen somebody put some kind of sticker, clear stickers underneath so that your ruler doesn't move on the page. Can't remember the name of it though. Somebody knows, let me know. Hi, Lise. Thanks for coming by. Okay. So just continue on with the marking. And again, 1 inch right across. Actually, this I can put away because I no longer need it. So as you can see, I'm just making a 1 inch mark at the bottom so that when I lay down the chipboard, it's going to all be straight. Now, I'm not going to go to the end. I don't think I'm going to need this whole section. Okay, so now that I've got the markings in there, I'm going to take one side of my chipboard here. I'm going to lay it down right in those markings that I made as best as I can. And do the first one. It looks like it's not 100% straight. So there we go. Okay, and you make a mark here. Now, normally to separate the chipboard covers, you're going to take two pieces of chipboard, put them together like this, and you make a mark. That's where the second piece is going to go to. So it's going to be approximately about there. All right, so this is all I like to do, just to give me an idea. So now, the next step is I need to put tape all around this, and The tape has gone MIA. Okay, I moved it. What did I do with my tape? Normally I keep it in here. I don't know what I did with it. Well, that's weird. Probably right in front of my face and I don't see it. It's weird. Sorry about this, guys. I thought I had it in front of me. Did I move it? Oh, I remember. I know where it is. I had taken it with me, and I haven't used it since then. I had taken it with me to Clausac to make the album. I forgot all about it. There we go. And I only have a little bit left. I don't even know if this is going to be enough to cover it, but I'll try my darndest. All right. So I'm going to remove this for the moment because I don't want the tape to accidentally get stuck to it, so I have a chance to. So let's do that there. My phone is giving me a hard time today. All right. All right, so I'll do this piece in a minute. Also, the one trick that you want to learn is when you're working with chipboard. This is medium weight graphics. You notice how one side bends, one side really doesn't. This is the spot that you want to make it going up and down. So I usually put an arrow so that I know when my front is going to be laid this way, so that when people turn the cover, it doesn't bend. Because if you do it the other way, just looking at this, when you bend it, you're going to end up with the paper being warped. So you want to change it to the part where it gives the less resistance. All right, so put that in there. And I'm going to do it on the other side so that that arrow stays. And Clausac does sell the 8.5 by 11 sheets. I used all of mine, so I don't have any more right now. So I'm going to do a combination of all the tapes. And you want to use double-sided tape. You do not want to use glue because glue tends to buckle and it'll leave a lot of bubbles underneath. Now, I'm not going to use it. Normally, I would cover the whole thing, but since I'm down to the last little bit, I'm going to cover just the end pieces. And then I'll use my other tapes in between. If I have more, once I've done the 4, then I'll see about using up the rest of it. Happened to get my hands on another store in when I was visiting Ottawa back in August, and she only had the one roll. Or else I would have bought everything she had because it was only like 27 bucks for I think what 15 feet or something like that, and it's done about 10 albums. All right, this one might be a little bit crooked. Not a big deal. Clean that up in a minute. And if it goes crooked, just like that. Come on, come off my hand. Now, the unusual thing is too, on this one as a cover, I'm also going to be doing a photo frame with the, it's like a shaker card type of idea. But I haven't designed that one yet, so I have no clue how it's going to look or how it is. But it will have a shaker card or some kind of a picture frame in the front of it. Alright. So, how much do I have of this left? Maybe. Might just end up doing it. Let me see. How big? Yeah, it's quite a bit of an overlap. Okay, let's leave this one alone. Just use this one. So I'm going to do it on one side. And this is the last of this tape that I have too. Got to go buy more. And hopefully the store will have it. I just pick it up at the dollar store, like the one that's near my house. It's not quite a dollar store, it's just a local. And once I've got all the tape off, I'll fix that one strip. So the idea here is you want to get it fully covered with double-sided tape. Okay. How much of an overlap is that going to be? It's not too bad, actually. Too much. And if I'm boring and I don't talk a lot, sorry. But and somewhere burnish it well. Make sure this double-sided tape has stuck on one side. This one as well. All right. Now, that's the two pieces. Then you've got this one. Actually, I'm going to do this differently. Because I think I've got enough. Something I hate. Sticks to my mat. Hi, Wendy. How's the weather in beautiful Japan today? Actually, I'm not going to use that because I want to also be able to use tie back on this to make sure that the spines last, because it's a bigger album. You want to definitely make sure you use that tie back on the front and in the back. This one I will use this way. Yuck. It's okay, we're snowed in over here. So I can use it later. All right, now to do the tie back piece. Okay, so the tie back, I like to go at least 5 inches. So I think I have a piece left. Yeah, I do. I think this might just fit. Yep. So I'm gonna go. All right. So 3.5. The spine is 3.5. So you want to go at least 1.5 inches on each side extra. So if it's 3.5-inch spine, you're going to go 4.5, 5.5, go 6. I think I have enough for 6. Okay, it's going to be a little bit less. Oh well, because straighten this out. Now, this whole thing measures how much? 11.5. So 11.5. 5 and 5 is 10, 11, 11 and so 5 3/4. 5 3/4. Yep, 5 3/4 it is. All right. So I am going to be using 2 sheets of tie back, one for the front and one for the back. And you're going to want to put, see, I'm down to the bottom. So this is all I've got left. Yeah. I'm going to have to get Carol to order me some. So I don't think I could use, yeah, that's garbage. All right, so I'm going to put this on one edge. Keep that for something else when I do a mini journal. And let's use up the rest of this carpet tape. And you're going to want to put double-sided tape on both sides of the tie back, because you're going to be covering it on both sides. That's going to overlap a little bit, but no big deal on that. And as you can see, I'm horrible at keeping things straight. Okay, so it should stay relatively straight. Lee's Tyvek is like a shipping material. It's the same stuff that the USPS, the United Postal Service, uses. It's the envelopes, but they also sell them blank so that they're not, because you can't use USPS envelopes to make these. So I buy them in Tyvek envelopes, but it's the same stuff as those are made out of. It's just really strong. Like, you cannot rip Tyvek. Once it's stuck, it's stuck. Like, I'll show you. I'll give you an example. So I had a piece, a small piece. Find it. Threw it in here somewhere. All right. So this is a piece of Tyvek that I cut off. But if you happen to notice, like, no matter what, this stuff won't rip. Like, you can't rip it on your hands. You have to literally cut it. So that makes it perfect for when you want to use it on a spine. I'm going to leave this one aside for right now because I don't know if I have, might not have enough tape. So the idea here, what you want to do is, we've got an idea of where your chipboard's going to go. I'm just going to move things around so it lays flat. So the mark that you had made is here, and this is where your hinge is going to go. So you want to lay your Tyvek pretty much over. The spine is going to go approximately over here. So you want to put your Tyvek piece evenly out there. And of course, I think I buried my pencil. All right. All right. So I just eyeball it. I am not going to just give it an idea of where I want it to go. So then I lay the Tyvek down first. This is my own method that I've been using over and over again. If you've seen it taught a different way, you're more than welcome to do it. I just find that this works for me. Yeah, and this piece is being very stubborn. Let's try doing it on this side. There we go. So it could be that this is the part that needs to go under. That's why. Oh, that's right. Let's see. Yep. It worked. This piece is not pushed down enough. Lise, are you still here? If you are, let me know how you're enjoying the album that you bought. Okay. This tape is being very stubborn today. we go. Got it. All right, so then once this is done, I'm going to lay it down approximately in the half. Like normally it's the sheet of paper or the height is 13 inches. Tyvek only comes in 9 inches. So unfortunately, you're going to have to, but it'll hold. There we go. You want to burnish it really, really well. Okay. Lee's, you can buy it. Tyvek, you can buy it off of Amazon. And it's just the way you spell it. Tyvek. And it's usually in envelope form. And you just cut the envelope apart. I think it comes 9 by 10 or something like that. Vanessa, can you do me a favor and go on to the Amazon.com and get a link for any of the 25 packs of Tyvek, the ones that you showed me the other day? And the other thing that you can use if you don't want to use Tyvek is book cloth, graphics book cloth. But I find that they're not as big. Oh, you're welcome, Lise. So there you go. Genuine testimony on someone that's bought my album. Because I included a lot of different goodies that I printed out for her. And a lot of it was on photo paper as well as just regular cardstock. This is being stuffed. Got it. All right, so now go to that first section. That one. This one. I'm gonna grab. So. That is a spacer. Remember I said I was going to go back and put an extra strip once I took this off, just so that it makes it easy. You get every little bit covered. Okay, now I want to dig underneath here for. Thanks, Vanessa. Okay, so you're going to take it and you're going to see. I almost did that wrong. So you have to make sure that your arrows, whichever way that you marked it, for the arrows to go up and down. And my end is sticking to the piece here.
Which is always the case. And you want to get it down as straight as possible.
Next section is your spine.
See, this is why you have to really, really burnish it, because otherwise the tape is not going to come off, or the cover is.
All right. So now what you want to do is you want to take the first 2 pieces of chipboard. And I may not have a second piece. I know I had made a spacer, but goodness knows where I put it. I'm just looking for scraps that I can put together. Don't know where I put that other spacer. Same size. Thought I had it right here, and nope, it's gone MIA. Whew, found one piece. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to cut this one in half and use it as a spacer. Got it. Okay, so what I like to do is I just like to take 2 pieces of chipboard and pinch them together. Okay, and then line them up. So you're going to line them up right on the edge of the chipboard, making sure that it all, okay, and then take your spine piece, and I can't see, and make sure this part is lined up as well. And I just remembered I shouldn't have put tape on both sides, but that's okay. It'll make sure really, really firm there. And then very carefully pull this back up. Okay. So now I gotta move everything down to the other side. I don't like using my ruler because I just find that it's not consistent. Sorry, I'm just kind of trying to, normally I do this on my kitchen table, but because I want to do it in the camera, I'm trying to work with it on my desk. It's being really uncooperative. There we go. There we go. We got it. Yep, paper's rebelling, everything else is rebelling. It's like nothing is working today. Just making my job a little harder, that's all. All right, get my spacer out again. And again, like Vanessa says, if you don't have any extra chipboard, if you only bought what you need, you can use your ruler as a spacer. I just like doing it this way because it just makes it perfect each time what the amount is in between. Because you only want like 1/8 of a bar. Oh, I almost did that again. Got to use my arrows. There we go. Then once you have this piece in there, then you can cut your page down, your paper down to 1 inch. There we go. And there you go. As you can see, it's all laid out. You're right, Emily. The paper did not want to go on there. Now, to get the cover started very gently, you can start, but don't go all the way. Just very carefully, because you're going to burnish it down afterwards anyways. Now you're going to put on that second piece of tie back.
Yeah, I definitely want to use a second piece of tieback. Because this is a very thick, it's going to be a very thick and heavy book, and you don't want the spine breaking. Even though tieback is very hard to rip, you know, over time, it is going to. You only have to put the tape on one side this time. I am running down really low of all my supplies. So I've gotten the paper again now, and Carol from Class Act has ordered me another pack of the chipboard. I get 25 sheets from Graphics, and it's like $1 less than Amazon, but definitely worth it, because then I don't have to worry about waiting for delivery or anything like that. And yeah, this tape is about done. And I do not have any more, so I'll have to go buy more. Double check. Double check to make sure I don't have any wrong. Pretty sure that was the last roll I had. Yeah. So until I can get more. Again, finish really, really long. Make sure that it sticks. Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, just remember we made a lot of albums up until now, Emily, so I pretty much went through all of my stash. Alright, so this piece I can lay down a little bit better, because I've got a better idea of where everything goes. Just lay it down flat. Again, you want to burnish it. Uh-oh, did I forget? I forgot tape. What the? Oh, okay, I know what I did wrong. I forgot to take off the rest of the tape. Why didn't you guys warn me? Damn it. Now, that's okay. And by the way, this Tyvek I got from Janie Renteria. So thank you very much, Janie. Because when I first started using it and started making albums, I had no clue what Tyvek was. So she took pity on me and sent it down to me. All right. So now I want to cut on the corners just a little bit. Just to give you an idea, you want to cut just a little bit off of the edge of the cover. So please don't feel bad that you don't know what Tyvek is. Like I said, I'd heard about it, but I too had no clue. And we cannot get it in Canada. Amazon has just started using it, or it's selling it. Okay, so now I got that done. Now the next step you want to do is you want to bend in all of these. You want to give it a nice crease. Same with this side. Insides. Side. Okay, now. And lastly, what you want to do is you want to apply your tape. Now, the tape itself, what you're going to do with it is you're going to apply it right on the edge of the chipboard. So you're going to do all the way around. Here, but so just throw it. Finish it out afterwards. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be exact, because I noticed that I didn't do it exactly correct. One edge is a little bit higher than the other, a little bit more of 1 inch, but no big deal. You go back, you burnish everything. I am just going to go in and I'm going to use my bone folder this time. Get that to go creased really, really well. Now, on the edges, because there's still a little bit piece showing, I am going to use my art glitter glue, but just on the edge. The most part is double-sided tape. So I like to do this part first. So just put a little bit of glue on it, and we need to reopen it. Just a little bit. Put a little bit right up against, just a small strip right up against the chipboard. And then starting from the middle, now see how it cracked? May have put the paper, so I'm going to have to use some kind of a ribbon, which I was planning on doing anyway. Because the paper cracked. This is the Canon one. I think the other album that I made, I used I think it's Fabio or something like that. I've got to check the exact name, but it did not crack. This one cracked, but no big deal. I was going to put lace on the edges anyway, so it'll just cover up all those cracks. Exactly, Vanessa. Crafting is never perfect. Especially when you're handcrafting something. Now, you notice that I took the tape off of that side, and I'm going to take the tape off of the other side, and there's a reason for this. You don't have to do it the same way, but I prefer doing it this way, because what I like to do is on the corners here, just push it in just a little bit so that you get a nice, clean, sharp. See how I just did it? I don't know how well you can see it. See how it's just inserted just a little bit on the corner? I pushed it in, and I want to do that on all four sides so that when I go and bend it, it's going to get a nice, sharp corner. And you can watch different videos out there. Kathy King shows how to do it. And a couple of other people show exactly how to do this fold inside. There we go. Lee's, I am an hour and a half from the border. So I'm not far at all. I go over to Buffalo quite a number of times. Buffalo and Niagara Falls are pretty much the two U.S. cities that are closest to me on one side. On the other side, if I go towards Ottawa, the closest city is, actually my mind's gone blank right now. I can't remember. Watertown. And Thousand Islands, of course. Yeah, I wish I can go to the States right now, but I can get my papers and I can get my passport and I can, you know, get everything ready, but absolutely no money to go across.
And I've traveled. I've gone down to Florida. I've gone down to New York. I've got family in Connecticut. Okay, now very carefully. You want to. It's going to end up cracking. I can tell you that much right now. Edges cracked. I'm hoping not, but. There you go. She worked. She worked. And it did crack, but I was planning on putting some kind of. There we go. She's done, ladies and gentlemen. So now I'm going to put in, see? And it's going to work exactly perfect. So once I put the cover, it's going to be even stronger. So remember we had this piece that we saved from earlier. Like you said, Vanessa, not everybody's perfect. I keep forgetting to do a lot of things. So this piece here, I'm going to just cut this part out a bit. There we go. See? So is it perfect? Yeah, pretty much. There we go. So before I put this piece down though, I'm going to need to get some more tape. So I don't have any more double-sided tape that's big. So I'm going to have to go get a couple more rolls of the carpet tape on Saturday when this snow clears. So, but I can work on the pages and that in the meantime. Yes, you can use fabric. You can use fabric instead of the black tape. The difference with the fabric is that you would have to use either fabric tack and make sure that it doesn't show through. So you want to test on it first. Or you can also use the double-sided tape, especially the company that I was using, which is Elizabeth Crafts, or can't remember the other name of the, I think it's score tape. So Suk Wang, which is score tape. They also make the big ones, the 4 or 5 inch rolls of this kind of tape as well. But I find that it doesn't stick very well with fabric to paper. So the other idea that you may want to use is the 3D matte gel. That works amazing, but really a pain in the neck to spread. But the 3D matte gel, that is your best when you're trying to put fabric to paper. This works amazing. You just have to be really patient and really have to put a lot of it on. But that is the best stuff to stick it with. Actually, do I have one shown? No. But I think if I'm not mistaken, there was one other album that I made that I used that stuff with, and it's just perfect. Like this. Okay, just to give you an idea, this is the Tinkerbell one. This one was made using the 3D matte gel. So the fabric went to the chipboard. So and you can see that it comes down nice and plain, and it did not seep through at all. So, yep. And also with Cossack, she can order you the bigger rolls if you need it. Or you can get the sheets. Like this one here, I would probably be using if I had it, the 8.5 by 11 score sheets. But I'm going tomorrow to Cossack. I've got a meeting with Carol, so I'll be able to purchase some then. I might go ahead and use the 8.5 by 11 sheets on this. It'll make it a lot neater and cleaner and really, really give it a good stick. so that it does not come apart. And my, okay. All right, gotta get another elastic. The other one's gone MIA. It's somewhere. All right, so that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. We could sit and chat for a few minutes. Does anybody have any questions, or would anybody like me to do anything specific? Want to show you guys the dream catchers I made. And this one's going to be for another album that's upcoming. So there is this one. Pretty simple. Nothing fancy. And it has the beads and the feathers. And then there's this one. And thank you, Wendy, for the embroidery floss, because this is made with that embroidery floss that you sent me from Japan. And it will be a little surprise as to where it's going to go. But I sat and did this the other morning, and just to give you an idea, it's got the different beads and things on it. Exactly, Emily. Don't use thin material when you're using the matte gel, because it will seep through. Same with the fabric tack. It'll seep right through. I want to do, and I already told Emily this, I've got a couple of other smaller. I want to do a boho shabby chic type album. I think I showed the paper the other day. I did. So if you guys are interested, we will be doing that one fairly soon too. I just said it, Emily. It's going on a shabby, boho shabby chic mini album. I had seen one that had the Dreamcatcher on the cover, and it was absolutely beautiful. So I was like, ooh, good idea. I like the Dreamcatcher to put on the album. So anybody else would like to see something, since I can't finish the album cover, because unfortunately right now I do not have any more tape. I didn't realize I was running low, so I'm going to have to leave that for the moment. I mean, I can do the pages, but I found that I tried, like with the one from the Cossack, then I'm going to end up having a really hard time putting the cover on, the hinge to the page. So I'd rather just wait and then put that second piece in there and then get the hinge in there. It is still a little bit flimsy, but I know it's not going to come apart because of the tie back that I put in the front and the back. There you go. There you go. See? I gave you an excuse, Wendy, to get your scarf finished and done. All right. Well, if there's no more questions or anything, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to say see you later until this evening. Like I said, Emily and I will be doing a live stream, I think around 5:30 this evening. As to what we're going to be doing, got no clue. I was going to work on my album, but can't do that now. But I'm sure I can come up with a smaller album that I've already got done that we can work on. So I will talk to you all later. Bye.